Nathaniel Perez.
And I'm Mervin Culala. And we are here to pitch in our Marist of the Year and talk about the Marist charisms. But first, what is a charism? A charism is a gift from God given to us.
There are 5 Marist charisms, which are love of work, presence, simplicity, in the way of Mary, and family spirit. These charisms are shown by all Marist of the Years, teachers, and students.
Our Marist of the Year candidate is Mr. Duvall. Mr. Duvall is a CST teacher who works at Parramatta Marist High. He is an easy teacher to talk to, and you can joke around him at any time.
He coaches A-grade basketball for MCS competitions, on Thursdays for sport. Mr. Duvall is very good at basketball and people love him. Mr. Duvall also teaches English for some year groups. He is very smart and will always give you an answer for any question you ask him.
Although Mr. Duvall coaches the A-grade basketball, he still has the time and effort to participate in masses in our school events as a ultrasound. Now we'll be interviewing some students from Mr. Duvall's class over the past few years. Hi, my name is Mervin and I am here with Daniel. Hey Daniel, I'm here to talk about Mr. Duvall. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So first question, do you believe that Mr. Duvall deserves Marist of the Year?
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Lars is very deserving of Marist of the Year, yes.
Okay. Has he helped you in any way?
Yes, as my year 8 teacher, and I think he's a teacher as well, Mr. Lars taught me many lessons in religion that have been helpful to me. Like, I learned a lot of morals and things about different parables and things like that. And some of the Bible.
Okay, last question. What is your opinion on him working within the community of Marist?
I think Mr. Lars does like a lot of work in the Marist community, both with the church and also in the classroom. His teaching skills teaches a lot of the kids about Jesus and God and the workings of mastership.
Good answer. Thank you.
Hi, I am Nathaniel Perez, and I am here with Matthew Moses, Luke El-Sabah, William Mira. And so, our first question is, how is Mr. Duvall a positive role model towards students?
Well, I believe he's a positive role model towards students because he always has a positive attitude. Like, he's always encouraging us to learn and speak like what we think, and this from like early years. So he was really like encouraging it for us to learn as year 7s when we had him, and like year 8s as well. So that's why I believe he's a positive role model.
That's a great answer, Matthew Moses. So, our second question is, what is your opinion on Mr. Duvall's work ethic as a teacher and role model?
I think he has a really high work ethic because he's always doing his work and he's always happy about doing it. And he's a really good role model because he when he does his work, he shows other people how to do good as him, and also he's really religious, teaches other people about religion, and he's a really good role model.
Yes.
And English as well.
Yes, indeed. So, last question, William Mira. How does Mr. Duvall spread the word of God?
Mr. Duvall, he spreads the word of God through his teachings about God, through his son. God and Jesus and how they impact our life, our daily lives.
Great answer. Thank you. Hi, I'm Nathaniel Perez, and I'm here with Matthew Moses. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
So, first question. Does Mr. Duvall display simplicity?
Well, I believe he does display simplicity because he's always straightforward with you, as in like he will tell you what you need to do to get a good mark, and that's really good having a teacher like that, because I'd rather have a teacher that gives you advice in how you can improve your marks and who is nice than someone who is not very good and like says, oh yeah, your work is always good. So yeah, I believe he does show simplicity.
Great answer. Question 2. Does Mr. Duvall display presence?
I believe he does display presence because he's always there when we need help, and when we ask him questions, he doesn't just tell us to research about it. He always like gives us his own knowledge, which is always good from a teacher. And when we need help with our project or stuff, he would ask us what materials we need, what teachers to refer us to. So that's that's really good of him because that shows that he's willing to help us and his presence is always needed and required, and it's good to have him always.
What is your opinion of him working with the community?
Well, my opinion of Mr. Delval working with the community is that he's a good person to have in the community because he's always sharing his knowledge, which is, like, as I said, good from a teacher because they know more than most students. Oh, they always know more than most students because they've been through life itself and they know more. They've got all their life teaching. So I believe he's a great person to have in a community and especially a learning community.
Thank you, Pastor Perez.
Thank you.
Now we will be interviewing some teachers about Mr. Delval's work and his ethics.
Good morning, Miss Murray. I would like to know some questions about Mr. Delvalle. How does Mr. Delvalle show family spirit?
I think Mr. Delvalle shows family spirit in a number of ways. He's very committed to the school. He has a lot of different activities he runs at the school. For example, basketball. He loves getting people together around a fun sort of activity. He had the seminarians here and the priests, and they were playing basketball in the mall. He, invited girls from Catherine Macaulay and our students. Even in the classroom, he's always, encouraging the students to, be together and to look after each other, in his homeroom and just to general classes. So he displays love of family spirit, he displays family spirit in a number of different ways.
Thank you, Miss. How is Mr. Delvalle a positive role model to students?
I think Mr. Delvalle is a really positive role model for students. He lives by example, basically. The way that he acts and the way that he speaks and the way that he lives his life is exactly through Christian teachings. And I think that in our school is a really positive thing. The boys have someone to look up to, they've got someone to go to talk to, not only about schoolwork, but about outside school, whether it's sport or family life, or if they're, having a good day or having a bad day, it's nice that he can go there and be that positive role model for them. And he does it so quietly. He's not out there and he's not saying, look at me, I'm brilliant. He's kind of he does it in his own sort of unique way. He's really kind of quiet about things, and he doesn't blow his own trumpet. And I think a role model that does that is really sort of after something else. And I think the way that he conducts himself is a really positive role model for students to have at this school.
Thank you, Miss. How does Mr. Delvalle spread the word of God?
He spreads the word of God in a number of different ways. The one that strikes me the most is during our CST classes, because we team teach together. We were doing a project earlier this year, and you were talking about the ways that Christ can be revealed through the Bible, and he comes up, with some amazing stories. He just links them to his own life experiences, and he relays how Bible text, the way that he lives his life and the experiences he has, he connects them together in such a really unique and enthralling way. And I sat there with the students just kind of listening to him, because I just found it was just amazing. It really hit the nail on the head. It was really focused on, the type of person that Jesus was and is, and how we see him today. So that's just one way that Mr. Delvalle, spreads the word through his actions. Exactly. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and I think that says a lot about who he is.
Thank you, Ms. Murray, for your time and effort for this.
In conclusion, we nominated Mr. Delval as our Marist of the Year because he shows all the Marist charisms and lives them out in everyday life, and is a very faithful person, always helping others in the community and participating in sport and events in the Marist community.
Now the question to you is, do you think he deserves the Marist of the Year award?